Okay, so welcome back to our project. We should be about this far here, which is you have all the cards done, and we're just going to add some color in here. So if you look at the rubric here, we've checked off a bunch of the boxes. We have 6 cards, 3 in each row. We have the 6 images. We have the 6 titles and descriptions. We have 6 anchor tags with target equal blank inside. Now we need to do background color, font color, and margin. And later on, you'll have to make sure that you have the alt text for images and the color contrast test is passed on the Wave AIM website. So we are going to start adding some color. So now we're going to be working in our CSS. Okay. So I'm going to go to my wonderful Colors website here. And I'm going to go grab some, you might be able to do this. Actually, you probably won't be able to do this on your own because there's a few things that you'll need to know here. But let me just generate some colors that I like here. Um, so let's say that I want to use some of these colors. Okay, for simplicity's sake, I should probably just stick with some of these. Okay, let's say that I have like this dark purple here. Remember, I'm going to, click here. I'm going to copy here. I'm going to go back to the CSS. And then in here, I'm going to say background color. And I'm going to paste it there. And then let's see what it does. Sometimes it won't do it. Okay. And so right here, it just did not put the color that I wanted here. So I am going to add this little piece of code. That's weird. It just like did it for me. Which is the exclamation point important, which what this code does is, okay, because you've used a styling sheet from Bootstrap, there's a lot of default styles. So there's a lot of style that comes with Bootstrap. Now, to override that style and put in your own style, you need to add this line of code after whatever you want, after the property that you want, and before the semicolon. And that will actually make your style sheet override the style sheet from Bootstrap. So if you're finding that something is not working, go ahead and add that exclamation point important to what you need there. Okay, so I have my body is styled. Now I'm going to style out something. I'm going to style out the background color of the cards. So for that, I want you to notice that um, the cards are in a class called card. So the way to style them is I'm going to go period and then card and open your curly brackets. Open your curly brackets and it keeps not closing. Okay. And here I'm going to add background color right here. And maybe I wanted something that's like kind of offset. Maybe something that's like this lighter. It's a little bit boring for me. But maybe this one right here. And I go in here and add this here. And if it works, great. If not, I'm going to go ahead and put this exclamation point important. It's funny, as soon as you add the exclamation point, it just like adds that important part. So there we go, it overrides that. Keep going with, I'm going to add the color for the, and I'll just do something real quick because you guys don't need to see me floating these around. All right, this is the color for, and again, I'm just going to go ahead and add the important. That is the color for the text inside the cards. Oh, that's way too light. Right, so one is light, and so I'd have to actually go darker. So, this doesn't really go that well with this, but maybe I would just do like a darker shade of this right here. But just make sure that you're offsetting dark with light like that. There's a hashtag there. Okay, so there's my color. It looks kind of too black. I would go back in and make it a different color, but you guys don't need to be messing with that. Let's see. So I've added background color to the cards and to the page. I've added the font color. You're going to add some margins. So margin, and let's do like 20px. That's going to put some space in between the cards. Again, might have to see. Yep, that did it. So like there was space. It automatically spaces across the page, but it added some margins on the top and the bottom. So that's really great. Now I need to do, okay, so everything in the cart, you're going to do also a Google font. So make sure you go back in, you know how to add the Google font there. The other thing I want you to style is the nav bar here. So you're going to put a font in and you're going to, go, you guys know how to do that. I'm not going to show you how to do that here, but you can go back to the video if you need.
Okay, so where we left off in the last section was our styling of this top nav bar, and it's actually pretty tricky. And so I've had to do a couple of things to figure out what to do for it and then come back to the video. So you're seeing kind of a jump. The first thing that I did was I went into the nav class of nav bar right here, and so this is what it looked like before, and I opened it up and I put an ID equals quote top here. Okay. And so I want you to go ahead and do that. And then in the CSS, I want you to style the hashtag top. All right. So this goes along with adding the ID in the HTML. All right. And then that allows me to put a background color in the nav bar. Now, the next thing is styling the text itself, which again, I cannot style through this section. For some reason, it's kind of crazy, like it doesn't allow me to do that. It takes a while to style this top, or it took me a few tricks here. So what I'm gonna do instead is you don't have to add anything to the HTML. This H1 is already here. The words are within something called a span, which is within this class, another container here. So I am going to use this label of the span class that already exists. And because it's a class, I'm going to style it with a period. So I say period H1, and I use my curly brackets. And here's where I can style the font color. I added a Google font, I put the HTML code in, and then this is the CSS code. And I changed the font size. And by doing those two things, like using the hashtag top to do the background color, and then the .h1 to do everything else, I'm able to style out the navigation bar. Okay, but it was pretty tricky. So remember, you're going to add a Google font. So from the last video, you're going to add a Google font. You have to do that by adding the code up in the HTML, and then you can feel free to, I have two different Google fonts. I have one in my nav bar, and then I have one that is in the body, which like goes across all of the cards. Right, I have a more decorative one in my nav bar, and then I have a sans serif one in my cards right here. All right, and so this will complete the video on styling.